Welcome back to another episode of WittyBantr. Your hosts Nabil and Daniel are here, and we just got done talking to Ajit Punj. He is an engineer, and we had a Habit cheeseburger each, and then we had some bakery stuff. I don't normally eat out, but I don't see him that often these days because he's working at a startup, so that's just how that lifestyle goes. And yeah, we were talking about starting. I just threw it out there. We were all sitting there, me, Daniel, and G, and I was like, let's start a business, man, because I want to be a businessman. We're all business women's here. And then we just threw out some ideas. I'd want to do. Ajit was throwing out more home improvement ideas, making your home automated, which is cool, I think. I mean, like, I'm interested in as I had mentioned, the lights turning off automatically when no one's using it or in the room. Mm-hmm. That could just be a motion thing, but it should also be part of a cloud account where, like, you can monitor the usage, right? So if you're curious, why is my bill $400 for electricity? You can view a graph that says, well, here's where you used all that electricity, as opposed to, being in the dark and be like, I don't know. I think that would be cool.
I think it would be more, well, I mean, I guess they've already solved it, but it would be more beneficial to solve the problem of using it when not needing it, mm-hmm. versus just monitoring it, because then you could easily say don't use the electricity, or don't use the electricity when you're not needing it. But if you're not actually solving the problem, and if the person still is stuck in the habit,
well, so here's the thing,
not
though.
Going to solve anything.
Here's the thing. Well, you would solve the problem, because if you put the motion thing where the light turns off automatically, right? That part.
Okay, yeah, that would solve it.
That would solve it.
Yeah, okay.
But if it's attached to a cloud thing, people can still use the electricity, right? Even if there's a motion thing there, if someone's using it all, people can still use it. And
you would have it set up where, I mean, you wouldn't use it, right? Because if it's already motion censored.
No, but if you're in there and you're still using it, your bill could still be up there, right?
Oh, okay.
And you'd say, why is my bill up there? You still wouldn't know. You'd be like, yeah, there's a lot of activity going there, but we don't know who was in there. And again, this would be very more useful for people who have roommates where they have to split the bill. For example,
right,
when Michael was in New York,
air conditioning.
The air conditioning bill was a group thing. So Michael's logic is, I'm just going to leave it on all the time. So now the problem is exponentially worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas if you had a system like this, you could even you could split the bill, and you could set it up in a way where you don't even have to review it. You just pay for what you use. So when you turn on, it could be, now, again, this would be part of the problem to solve. How do we figure out who turns on what? It could be like, maybe all the switches, instead of a flip, it's like a fingerprint scanner where you just put your finger there, that turns on the light, but it also tells the system, Nabil turned on the light. Therefore, Nabil will be billed for this usage. And now some complications will arise if, okay, let's say Bob walks into the room. Now who's using the electricity?
Yeah.
In that case, I mean, you could maybe have some parameter where in shared locations, like a kitchen, everyone splits it. But in a bedroom, you're the only one who gets charged for that. And then, again, the kitchen, what's that?
Is that unless you normally hang out in the other person's bedroom, if they have more entertainment options.
Oh, yeah. In that case, maybe there's a way where you could set it up where I want to decide which rooms we're going to split and which rooms only this guy pays, the kind of thing. But I think it's not even so much the splitting of the money that I think is important. It's that people will become more aware, and they'll actually, I think, do something about it. It's because, like, right now, you leave the light on because there's no realization of how much it costs, right? It's like it's a bill that someone pays. Who gives a shit if I leave the light on? But if it was tied to you and you could see a visual representation of like, how much it costs, then I think people in general would want to act on it.
Or maybe
And not
it'll
even lights.
confirm them to not act on it if they realize the amount of electricity they're using on one light bulb is nothing compared to what they're using on their computer. Right, it could go both ways.
Well, in that case, they might act on the computer. And if they didn't act on it, then we're still stuck in the same spot. So yeah, that's true.
Right.
But at least you tried. But yeah, a computer will definitely use more than a light bulb. Actually,
how much more?
Actually, that's not true, because I have a measuring thing. My computer, when it's on, but I'm not running any games or anything, it uses about 23 watts, which now most light bulbs, the LED ones, are pretty low. They're like 2 watts.
So this is
per
per hour, per minute?
Per second.
Oh, per second. Okay.
Yeah. A computer
So
would
a
use
light bulb
23
is
watts.
2 watts per second, 23 watts per
I don't know what the
second?
measurement is, but yeah, it's I think it's a
that's not a lot.
second. What?
Is it that includes while gaming, or is that just
No,
on
that's
idle?
not gaming. That's on idle, but it's on.
Oh, okay.
While gaming, it goes up to like 300.
Oh, okay. Per second?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The fan that you use is also 300.
Per second.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I don't know. I think it would just be cool to have that information. I'm trying to think of something that we know now that we didn't know before. It's like if you had a car with no fuel gauge. Oh, well, it's like, how like most cars, they tell you how many miles per gallon you're getting, or how many miles of a tank, how many miles you have left on the tank you have.
Right.
If you didn't have that, you might not be so concerned about like a fuel efficient car. Like if you didn't have that, your gas gauge would go down, and it would go down faster if it was fuel inefficient. But like, I bet there would be less of an urgency to get a fuel efficient car. You'd just be like if you asked, how fuel efficient is your car? I don't know. I fill it up like once every 2 weeks or something. Like because you have no information, I don't know. I feel like you'd have less of an urgency to get a fuel efficient car. Whereas if you knew, when I fill up my car, I can only go 100 miles. You might say like, well, shoot, maybe I should get a car that I can go 200 miles. So I think places where we don't have like visual information about, I think it would be a cool thing to do a business about. But, well, that was a long tangent. But actually, I'm not even that interested in that stuff.
Right. Well, also, even when I was thinking about the application to, splitting the bill, that actually makes even less sense now, because you're like, the only way that would be like beneficial is to the renters. So like for the renters, they can acknowledge like, okay, you're spending this much, we can split the bill equally. But the upfront cost for them will probably be pretty high. Like even the smart light bulbs I have, I didn't even bother finishing it. Like I got the bulbs, but I didn't get the actual hub to turn them on, because that was $50 or $70. And I doubt renters would, because any upfront expense, like even the router is usually a big deal. So it would be beneficial to, you would think it would be beneficial to the landowner, because then they can equally adjust.
It wouldn't be.
But if I think about it, as a landowner, I don't care. Like they don't even care about who's paying the bill. They just care that they get the total sum of the bill. Right. So
I think it's one of those things though that, okay, so not the renters, but the landlords will pay for it. The renters won't pay for it.
Right.
So it's more of an advancement, because it's like, think about landlords who renovate apartments it's more to bring the value. It would increase the value.
Oh, of renting there.
Yeah, it's like it would be part of, it's like a quality of life thing. So it would be part of like you increasing the value of your apartment. Now, I don't know. I agree. I don't know how much money that'll make, but it's like, if you have this, it might attract more intelligent, rich people to rent. Maybe like if I was looking for an apartment to rent and I had to have a roommate and I saw they advertised, yeah, we have smart thing where you're only charged for the resources you use, I would definitely I'd be like, yeah, I definitely want to pick that one, assuming everything else is okay. So I think that's the angle they would go for. As far as how much it would cost, like if we were to make this a business, I would imagine,
It'd be pretty expensive because you're talking about like sensors on, each light or device.
Yeah, but how much are those sensors? I mean, if we manufacture them,
again, even just the smart bulbs. Like I'm just talking about like
right. The smart bulbs. So they're marking it up a lot. But if we made the stuff in house, the material to make it is not expensive. It's just you just have to know.
So how would you make money off of it? Just selling it
so
cheap?
Well, it could be something where it's like,
because it's a one-time sale. It's not like
right.
a reoccurring.
It could be some sort of kit thing where, like, so you pay a subscription or something. So let's say you're a landlord. You pay a subscription and we supply you with all the bits that you need. So you don't pay for the bits, but you do pay a subscription. I'm trying to think about this, the business model. Because, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd have to think about it some more, but I'm sure we could work something out.
If you had like,
whether it be they pay for the bits or we give you the bits, but you pay a subscription.
Yeah.
I think you could make it work. But yeah, but I wasn't actually. I'm still tied on my kind of gaming thing and software specific thing, home improvement type stuff. I'm not very interested in.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of the same thing when I was.
Also, G has no time for a business.
Oh, right now, yeah, probably.
There's no way. He works so much.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said eventually, like later down the line.
Yeah. Well, if I could put some groundwork in to like at least have a base of cloud resources, then maybe if that time came, that's where I could do some of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well,
beyond the product thing, I agree. Like, I got to a certain point where I was like, I don't care about what the clients are servicing as far as like get Caltrain. Like, I don't know. I feel like unless you're, and I guess Faisal talked about it too, about like being at Corsair and being around like these gaming products, at least you're more passionate about, well, it plays a role, maybe not the biggest role, like maybe the product or the actual work you're doing plays the biggest role, but that definitely is factored in as far as like your interest in pursuing whatever job or work you're doing.
What about us? What if we started a business? We're both going to be living at home for very soon. And other than your coffee thing,
something else on the side?
Or have you considered? Yeah.
I haven't there was maybe one other thing. I can't even remember. I did think of something else, but actually the funny thing is when we had the 10-minute discussion on the what is it, that home improvement device or whatever, I think that also is important discussion to have for whatever product you have, like as far as like poking holes, because that's how I came to the whole coffee bean thing, because I started off with the coffee van, right? And I was like, okay, well, logistically this will be hard, like it can still be done, but
your idea
you realize your idea evolves. So it would be interesting to see like what.
Well, I guess we take
what
it
would
at
be
a
another
base
thing?
level. If we were going to do a business,
My thing is like I want the product and process to be as simple as you can possibly get, or as narrow as you can possibly get, and provide the most value as you could possibly.
right?
I think it's more interesting to pursue something that might be multifaceted and can
Mhm.
do a bunch of different things, but I can understand it would be more difficult probably as an engineer.
Yeah, I think if we were going to do something, it really comes down to, like, to start, it comes down to me. I have to, like, I mean, if it's going to be something software related, I have to come up with something, and then I think you would help me morph it. You give me feedback like, I don't like this or
Yeah.
whatever, and I can help change it. And then if we got something running, at that point, you would probably kick in more, like,
acquiring users. And,
yeah, exactly, like that, and marketing us and kind of pointing us in the right direction. I would still push the engineering,
product feedback and whatnot.
Yeah. So if we did something, it would have to
Be your.
I'd have to build it. I mean, it could be our idea,
Yeah.
but I'd have to build it out. And I think it'd be cool. I think the gaming thing would be pretty cool if I could get that running. Like,
Yeah.
like-
Shall the code for Pally? Because I still think that was a good idea.
yeah, I don't. I could
still-
rebuild it. That's not a problem. But
And you know what? The other thing I realized is like it doesn't even matter if it's already been done.
I 100% agree. That
'Cause I
does
was-
not matter.
I was thinking about that with like I just saw the Blue Bottle video.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Like he's thought of this. Like
Yeah.
he's thought of printing a roast date on the coffee beans, and it started out as a, what is it? Like in a hut roasting and like selling coffee, like selling coffee just retail. But he also now sells online as well and thingy. But like you can still do the same thing better or just do it and people prefer your thing. So.
Right.
I still think that idea was good, and useful, like practical. Like I actually used it, and I saved my League of Legends replays, which I don't know where they are now, but
Right. Yeah, I was so amazed when you clicked it, and then it's just like 5 seconds later, it's on the website.
Yeah. Oh, the website one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah,
Because it automatically go to the website, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you could just literally go back and like, after the game is done, you would go back and like.
It's
watch.
funny. I totally forgot about that because I was more interested in the function of it saving onto my computer, but I totally forgot that was the last thing you did before you stopped, right? And then we saw it on the website. Oh, what the hell? What was the video player you used?
That stuff was interesting. So there's a lot of open source video players out there.
Okay.
So like if you go on like Vimeo and you
Right.
notice like the player that they use,
Yeah.
you won't know, but like based on the play bar,
I can see Reddit
yeah.
has it where they have a stream play is the one they use.
Right.
Most of the
So I just use like one of those.
okay.
It's open source code and you can just integrate it in.
That's
So
pretty
literally
cool.
you feed it the file and then it'll handle the playing and the big screen and whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the first page is literally, it's just like a screenshot thumbnail, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
the player is another page when you click into it.
The thumbnail was automatic, right? Or
Thumbnail, yeah. So I use this pretty cool encoding software called FFmpeg.
okay.
And it's like a command line thing where you can mess around with video and audio stuff. So I would use that to create a screenshot. So that would take your stream. The FFmpeg would take the live stream and then do all the find a screenshot, save it, and do any sort of turn it into an MP4 or whatever it did. So that's how that worked. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. But yeah, I agree that your idea does not have to be original for you to pursue it.
And if anything, that's better because
You
have a higher chance because people are interested in
it's a marketable idea.
versus if you're inventing something new, it could be like really good, but like you don't know. You're kind of going in the dark.
And generally, people build on ideas. Like Facebook, MySpace is before Facebook, and you kind of build on top of it. So it's like Facebook was not a new idea. It was like, okay, yeah, we have social websites, except we have this thing called a status. That was, I think, the big thing
Oh, okay.
that made it different was like you could put your own like status, whereas Facebook, MySpace, like didn't have that.
Just
Oh,
comments.
and then just the fact of the feed, the scrolling feed.
Oh, that was
MySpace
it.
didn't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
So that was a big game changer. So it's like, yeah, we have social websites, but here's that, but improved. So yeah, I agree. Like,
I'm trying to think of a successful, like, original idea.
like that's never been done.
Yeah, or like
I mean,
as original as you can come. Like, obviously, if it's,
probably like the first Apple computer.
even that was based on something. Right? No, I guess.
I mean,
personal.
Kind of.
computer.
It's based off Unix. The operating system was,
Right.
but very different from Microsoft, because I don't know who came out with the first personal computer, Microsoft or Apple, but even if they did come out at the same time, you know,
Mhm.
they're based on totally different operating systems, so it would have been totally different.
Right.
But those are kind of original, I guess. What else would be original? Maybe a more modern example.
The tablet, I think. Whoever
Yeah.
made the first tablet, that was pretty original.
That's true. I think Microsoft actually did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Apple that made it more popular.
Oh, okay.
But Microsoft had, I forget what it's called, but it was some sort of tablet with a
Tablet.
pen.
Okay. Their Surface is now becoming more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That was the original idea. But yeah, those ones are also, yeah, they're much harder.
you need a team, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You could maybe do it by yourself. It depends on the idea. But yeah, I agree.
Aftermarket IQ.
What?
You can make an aftermarket IQ.
Oh, of course, there's IQ. Yeah.
Or just RGB.
Yeah.
Uh,
That thing is garbo. But yeah, I think, you know, if you have an idea and it's already out there, I think you can, the belief you have to have is you can do it better. Because when I think about like, when I had job experience, I realized like, yeah, these things are like already happening, but like not at a very good level.
you're talking about the companies you're working for, or the?
Yeah, well, like like when I worked at a company, let's see, what am I trying to say? Like before I got into the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that all these companies that would pay someone money is like everyone's like the top of the class kind of thing. Like people who work there are like cutting edge, when really like people are still sending emails and spreadsheets when we're in the age of cloud services.
Oh, right.
So what I'm saying is,
they don't have everything figured
yeah,
out.
so if you have an idea that already exists, I guarantee you can do it better than what the industry is already doing.
Oh, okay.
If you work hard enough at it. So there's still opportunity for you to do what you want to do, even if your idea is
And
not
do
original.
something. Yeah, that's true.
Like coffee. Like, yeah, Starbucks already exists, but, you know, if you get really into the niche community of coffee, you know, roast dates might matter more. So coffee,
Or the packaging.
Starbucks just does not cut it for the high-end coffee consumer.
Right. Or the type of roast, or, you know,
Mm,
because I think when I looked at Starbucks, they focus a lot around like the packaging and like, like they even literally say that they're like, we use state of the art like suction technology or something in their bags. But yeah, no, that's true. It's like as long as you can either, it doesn't even need to be better too. It could just be different, right?
Yeah, you just gotta do it.
Yeah. So what ideas were you thinking of?
I'm still on the like gaming platform one. I mean, I guess my first prototype to have you test would be like a game of some sort. Something where you build everything from scratch. I'm trying to hit and I don't want to sound so repetitive, so maybe I shouldn't say it because I think we already talked about it.
Oh, the idea of the game?
Yeah, just like I want to try and the people who like building cities, the people who like fiddling, getting into the nitty gritty of flight simulator and truck simulator.
Oh, right, that one.
Like people like very specific things.
Yeah,
I want to put them
them
in a world
Yeah,
together. And then there's people who just like surface level stuff, Grand Theft Auto players maybe. Like I want them to be able to play in the same sandbox if they want to, make new game modes if they want to, and kind of go in that direction, like Minecrafters and stuff. Because I think you'd have a pretty unique gaming experience if you were, again, able to play Grand Theft Auto in a city that somebody spent a lot of time, designing all the where everything should be. Those would be a cool aspect. So, but the level 1 of that, what would that look like? I think it would be something like, it would be some Windows app, and I think it would be very much like Minecraft in that I'd plop you into.
What it would have to be? It'd have to be like I think it would have to be a low graphic, like
low polygon.
Yeah, I would even go lower than Minecraft and say because there's a lot of
not squares, just triangles.
Yeah, they have a lot of 2D games that are very popular. Like
I know what you're talking about.
I forget their names, but
some of them are really artistically pretty good.
Terraria, that's crazy popular.
Meat Boy, I heard about that one.
Yeah,
or something like that.
There's a few of them, but like that would be an interesting concept to have those games.
Yeah, that's true.
Integrated with one another, because I imagine they have similar graphics engines and things, and it like I feel like the trouble with creating a real world.
I don't even want to create a world necessarily. I want to create a base that you can build stuff that would eventually turn into a world. So maybe I put you into and I do want it to be 3D. So maybe I put you into just like a little room, and then you get to somehow scroll through like materials, and then you can make those materials into an item or a shape or something. Maybe you want to make like ground. So in a world, there's ground, right? So I'd want to give you like I don't know how granular I want it. Do I want to give you like dirt, concrete, and other stuff, and then you make your own kind of terrain? A terrain designer, that's what it would be. Or do I go even deeper and be like, here's carbon, here's what are all the elements? Or do I give you the elements of the periodic table and then you build stuff? I don't know which one I would do. Maybe the less complex one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to, because then you'd have to know, how the table of, not table of contents, what the hell is it called? The scientific table of elements.
Right.
Then you'd have to know how that works. Periodic table. That's what it's called.
Maybe I wonder how big the whole building aspect is. They have they just released from Nintendo a Mario Builder game, and I think it's getting pretty popular.
Mario Builder? What do you build in this?
My guess is like the whole Super Mario Worlds kind of thing, like that kind of builder.
Like it's 2D?
Yeah, it's 2D.
Okay.
I think it's pretty popular. It was like literally just released recently, and they're offering it for free with games and stuff like that. Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I'd start with some sort of builder that allows you to make shapes, and it'd be cool again if like you could even build stuff on your phone, right? If it was just like a little room, it doesn't matter. You don't need a keyboard to do a lot of movement. You're just making objects. That could be the first part of the game, right? And then when you create an object, it should store it in like some library. So then the next level is, okay, now I want to make a world, and I want to put together some terrain.
Right.
And now maybe me, Faisal, and Bob made a bunch of objects, and you're ready to build some map. Now you can use our objects and your own that you made,
right? And
then start piecing a world together. And then maybe you can mess around with the settings of the physics of the terrain. Like, ooh, I want this to be concrete, so I want the hardness or something to be like high.
I don't think you could do that on a phone yet. Like, I don't think the process, like they would have to wait or find a way to process the cloud or the.
I think you could. I mean, all you would need to do is, you can have 3D images on here. I mean, you could play 3D games on a phone.
But because even, whatchamacallit, gaming laptops struggle, like one of the ones that I'm thinking of getting.
Low graphics, though, remember.
But it's a 3D, right?
It's 3D,
Okay, yeah. So
but
like,
you can play Minecraft on your phone, and it's smoothly. I've
right,
done
right. But like development, like actual creation of like those games,
it. Hmm.
for some reason takes a lot more processing power from the CPU, and you run into overheating issues and all that.
Yeah, that's probably true. That would be a technical challenge. But if I'm able to do it,
If they had it, which they probably will at some point, have cloud-based processing
hmm
for like these.
but
type
also
of
remember,
things.
I'm talking about like if you're doing a builder on your phone, I'm talking about rendering one object, not like
Right,
a
right.
whole world. I'm talking about you have a cube, and now you can mesh it into whatever object you want.
Yeah,
I don't think your phone would have a hard time rendering just one object. Now, I think the more polygons you add,
mm-hmm.
the more intense it gets. And then if you're the level 2 part where you're building a world, maybe that doesn't work on your phone. Maybe I'll have that only for the desktop, where you take those objects you made on the phone or on your PC and then put them together. That would only be on the computer desktop.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like graphics or
Mhm.
builders and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm just assuming they probably is possible, because if they have it on the Nintendo Switch, I don't know why they wouldn't be able to do it on this.
right. But then that would be a cool thing, because like you could, if you wanted to play your game, let's say you're at work and you're on your lunch break, maybe you can't play the Grand Theft Auto stuff, but you can, I have an idea for a cool gun and I want to work on it. Or maybe I'm already working on a gun and I pull out my phone. It's like, okay, this is what my gun's going to look like. And stuff like that. So, yeah. But then I think, shoot, how long would this realistically take? I mean,
Yeah, it's a long project. You have to
Yeah.
go even simpler. I mean, you don't have to, but like I think
no, but I
agree
agree with, you have to do everything modularly and simple.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
simple and small.
Yeah.
Like come up with a small thing, work on it, add it, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, because then at least it not only can it be done, but like
Yeah,
you will.
Yeah,
do
if it's a thing that can take you 1 week,
Yeah,
then you can do
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I can do this.
If it's what I'm saying, I mean, 10-year project. Yeah, I 100% agree. Okay, let's get down into it then. What would be step 1? An app that opens up on your phone and says hello. That's the step 1. If I can do that, then we're on our way.
Did you do that already? Like,
I
learned that. I learned
No,
that in the coding thing.
I can do that, but I have
okay.
not done that yet. I don't have an app that I can show you. I have a web browser.
You have more impressive
chat.
apps.
Yeah, well, that's true. But those also took more time. But I'm talking about, remember let's work piece by piece.
Not
here.
that piece. Not that
good.
small. Yeah.
Too small? Okay. Let's turn it up a notch. Okay.
Went from creating a whole new graphics engine to creating an app this is high.
Okay. So what's the next step then? It's a game. It's a 3D game. And I just want you to be able to make objects. That's it. You don't get to play with them. You don't get to put them in worlds. I just want to put you in a scene where you can build a gun, build a block of sand, play around with materials, basically. So what would be
like a baby app, an app for babies, like where you can put the
kind of, kind of.
Or they can build a little castle,
Right. Maybe
castle.
The step cool. 1, small one would be, I'll make it where the app you can scroll through materials. How about that? That's nice and small, right?
Yeah.
And that's something. You can't do anything, but you can scroll through, like, I don't know, sand, dirt, concrete.
What'd be cool is,
carbon
I'm sure
fiber.
This has been done, but that'd be cool to have an app that's like a ultimate sandcastle builder.
No, that'd be
like,
pretty cool.
Where you basically, they give you materials, and then maybe you can do challenges where you're only using 3 or 4 materials.
Like only
and like
marshmallows.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can go more in depth with like the physics of having like, if you have heavy objects, the whole thing will come crashing down.
Mm-hmm.
And then also on the side, you can have a feed where you vote on, this is the coolest sandcastle.
Yeah.
It'd be like a cool kid game and a adult game when you're
That's
bored or
true.
whatever.
And I want to go in that direction where it's like you could make something small like that and then build on that.
Yeah.
Use that technology, and people can play the sandbox game or sandcastle game, but then I can go use this tech
And
to
expand
go
it.
make the Sim City thing.
I'm kind of curious if this is a thing because I feel like this seems pretty-
sandcastle
builder.
builder. No, I don't think so, man. I think this is a unique idea.
This is it, man.
We got it, man. We got it.
Sandcastle building games. This has got to be here.
Nah, it's not, man.
Castle blocks.
Castle blocks, but not sandcastles, man.
Yeah, this is 2D.
No, 3D, man.
But that's a cool. Yeah, I think that they're all pretty much 2D.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then there's the castle destroying games.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be a cool one.
Yeah, I think that'll be my step.
Thingy.
I'll just I still have to clean up a little bit of my chat application, the code, just so because I'm applying and I want that to look clean.
Mm.
Or should I just go dive into this stuff? I don't even know.
Well, what you could do is like, which I was thinking as well, is like, okay, if I'm getting close to the end of my savings,
I am.
work part, yeah, get like a part-time job.
That's true.
Where you're working, 4 hours, and
That's
I still have
true.
the energy to like, work on this.
That's true.
Because I couldn't. Well, I mean, it will take a long time to build this kind of thing, but at least it's like you're talking about something more practical, where I have money to survive and even fund whatever service at.
I find that very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. In that
So
case,
that's
then
something.
I should be cleaning up the portfolio first. Not.
Yeah. Or even like even contract jobs. I was thinking of like you could easily do like
A
3-month contract job, 6-month
non-software.
Well, I don't know, whatever you want.
I mean, I
but
prefer to do software just because I imagine I'd learn.
There'll be software job like
I've
you
submitted my resume to a few staffing agencies.
yeah. Do you follow anyone recruiters on LinkedIn?
I don't follow any recruiters on LinkedIn.
Okay, well they're always posting like 3-month
Should
job
I be getting
here, 4
LinkedIn
month, 6-month job.
Should I be getting LinkedIn Premium?
It's hard to say if it works. Did you already use the free trial?
Yeah, I used the free trial. I used it like 2 years ago.
Okay, you could get another one, I think.
Okay.
So check into that. I think it helped with my job. I have no idea if it did, if it was just low applicants, but it'll help you. I think what it'll do more is help you refine your resume and your LinkedIn profile to include skills. Because like what you'll do is you'll go to job listings and they'll tell you like, oh, you're missing all these skills, or here are the top applicants and the skills they have,
Mm-hmm.
and then see if there's skills you do have and include them on your resume / LinkedIn. So I think that's what it'll help you with. As far as like getting the actual job, I didn't really test around with the messaging feature they have with it. Like you can message more people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can try that out. I think what you're doing with reaching out to recruiters is probably good enough, but I think more what it'll do is like tell you like, oh, okay, well, these guys just automatically think I'm a bad candidate because I didn't list like 5 skills that I already have on my LinkedIn. All right, let me just throw those in there.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And then also the added benefit of like, oh, you'll show up on top of the list. I'm sure that'll help.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for a month, maybe. I mean, I think I paid for it for like 2 months. It's like $30. I don't know if it was worth it or not, but I think at least initially it might be worth.
Do you think? Okay, let's say I always want to work on my own business idea. Like that'll happen, regardless of what kind of job I get.
Yeah.
Do you think it's smarter to get a software job or an operations job, or does it not matter?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question.
Now, my argument for software is that I could possibly get knowledge that might help me in my business.
Yeah, I agree.
In operations, I mean, it'll just, the operations is operations.
So the good thing about, like you were saying with the software.
Let's just say the operations, I could probably more easily get a job.
Yeah.
Software want to be a little harder.
Yeah, I think the benefit with doing the software one is not only you might learn skills, but you could also pivot that in an interview later on and say like, I was working freelance and these are the jobs I worked on. These are the companies I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Like as in I, had my own software development business.
Right.
With operations, yeah, like you were saying, it might be easier to get a job. It might be easier. I don't know. Which will give you more time to work on your application idea. But I would say it would probably be the same because it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, the only other thing is like the software one would also pay more, probably, like significantly more.
More? Okay.
Like.
Yeah, I would probably go for the software.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even though with my thing, I was thinking like, if I did work part time, I would probably just find whatever's the closest. Like I would work at REI or something,
right?
Just because I want to be able to, like, I realize I lose energy commuting that I didn't realize.
Yeah. It also just takes time.
Yeah, the time, and then it's not always traffic, but when there is, I think it does hits your mental a little bit. So
I agree.
For me, financially, I guess I would be okay with, finding something closer. But yeah, I don't know. You could easily do either or.
Yeah. Let's see. I should have applied for jobs, I think Friday, Saturday, and today, but I have not. But I was doing 5 a day.
Well, the good thing is you're entering, is it? Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's almost the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
So like now's pretty much the time where most employers and recruiters are coming back from vacation.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I guess so.
You'll probably see more of an influx.
That's true.
But
yeah, I just gotta send them out.
Yeah, just
5
send them
a
out,
day.
like, yeah,
because a lot of times, and then I have to also not. I haven't been picky, to be honest. Like, I've been like, okay, I can kind of do that. Yeah, I'll just
do that. I think that's the way to do it.
Sometimes I'll slip into, just for a few times, I was like getting kind of picky, like, man, I don't know, not interested in that. But as Ajit reminded me,
you're just trying to get something.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury at this point to be selective,
pick and choose,
which is similar to how I was in operations. I didn't necessarily want to work at Upstart, and I didn't like being on the phones. But literally in 2 months, I was able to go to ZT.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's like, oh, you're employed. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
we'll take you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could find You've already reached out to agencies, like recruiting agencies, or how many?
So I submitted once. The one was called like Mountain View Tech Staffing. I sent them an email directly with my resume attached. I haven't got a response from any of them.
How many did you reach out to? 2?
4.
Oh, really? That's surprising.
So Mountain View Tech Staffing, Apex Systems.
I recognize them. No.
Revature or something. The only thing I don't like about them is like they post jobs things, but they're just, because they can't tell you who the client is. It's just
they do that.
It's like 20 junior developers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, can you just apply to all of them for me? I'm not gonna. Literally, all it says is junior developer, and then there's like the description is like their generic thing that they copy and pasted, and I'm like, am I supposed to just go through each one of these and?
Did they at least give you the location of it?
Yeah, they give you the location. But it's like the same title, and it's like Mountain View, Sunnyvale, San Jose. And it's like, and there's 20 of them. I'm like, am I supposed to go through one by one and like...
Are they the same exact thing?
Yeah, same exact thing.
Yeah.
And then but then there's one where it's like, there's one that seems to like encompass them all.
Mm.
And so I like did that one. And then, so I don't know. That's just with that company, Revature.
Yeah.
And then the 4th staffing agency I reached out to... I think it's called Modis or Modis, not Mondo. I think it's Modis, Modis. I sent my resume to them.
Oh, okay.
I have not received a response.
Did you ask them for a full-time position, or did you not even get that option?
Most of them I didn't even get that option. And then, well, wouldn't it all be contract because it's a staffing agency? Or do you mean,
not necessarily.
You mean like a part-time staff or contract?
like sometimes they have
Oh, sometimes
like it's a full-time position
okay.
from a company that they're hiring
Okay.
for, but like the more widely available are like the 3 month 6 month contract where someone is either on vacation or they just want to test you out and not have to be obligated to give you all the benefits of a full-time employee.
So I mean, whenever that option comes up, I never say. I do pick full-time if that's the only one I can pick. Like if I can only pick one, I pick full-time because that's what I'm interested in.
Okay, yeah.
But most of them don't even. They haven't asked that. And if it's ever like are you against contract? I never say yes.
No,
I'm fine with everything.
Right.
So that's that. So yeah, I agree. I'm a little surprised. I thought staffing agencies would
they'd
reach out a little sooner.
Especially because like they work off commission, so it's like
I mean, unless they just can't. If they can't find any matches or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a possibility. So yeah, but I'm still.
But yeah,
so I'm not 100% counting on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it when it comes, but
I would say if there's a way you can like the only thing I could think of is again like the recruiters that
reach
have
out to
added
actual
me.
person. Like for instance, I used to be in contact with this lady named Susan from Premier Staffing when I looked for.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That was from my operations jobs. I looked at Premier's website. They don't have any software jobs, but maybe I could reach out to her and be like, "Hey, I know Premier doesn't have software jobs, but do you know of any?"
Yeah, or any other staffing agencies that do.
Yeah.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
I think I feel like if you actively looked for contract positions, I feel like not as many people are applying for those jobs.
Yeah.
And they're more widely available. But at least that's the case for a lot of the like digital marketing, client services type of thing.
I use
and probably operations.
Indeed, LinkedIn, Hired, and then like a fourth one. Those are the main ones I use. So yeah, I think it's just a number.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah,
it's just a numbers game. Just gotta keep.
That was the thing for.
If you could do 100 a month, I think that'd be. If you can do 100 a month and at least one gives you one interview.
Yeah.
Then that's good enough, I think. And then meanwhile, if I'm working on the software stuff, at least I'll be brushed up on something. It. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just make that, like you were saying, the 5 applications a day, and then just do that first thing, and then after that, work on your idea.
Yeah.
That should be good. And then if you're in desperation mode, just try to find the contract anything.
Yeah.
Contract software and then contract operations.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, and what's cool with that is like I guess you would sometimes those actually end up paying more than
the contract ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true because
I think just the situation they're putting you in, right?
They don't pay for your insurance, or I mean, they don't give you
sometimes
insurance.
They do actually.
Okay.
But I forget what other benefits they don't. But also, I think it's because it's riskier. They want to make sure you're
compensated.
Yeah. Because they could technically fire you at any time, like the stories we hear about Faisal's friend just getting fired the next day or something like that.
No, really, I don't even remember. But
yeah. It's like, all right,
that's
just training.
Fast.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, holy moly.
I don't even. How do those decisions like? Are the execs just kind of like sitting there like, all right, well, it looks like we just added all these contract positions, but we don't need them, or we don't have the money, or
yeah,
and they're just like, all right, fire them.
Not sure. Yeah, no idea. But yeah, I'm not concerned about my finances, but there was that comfort when I did have a job of like, yeah, I'm making money. Like,
yeah,
like
I'm
I could,
fine.
I could, even if I was a little willy nilly, I bought something. I'm like, it's okay. I'll recover the next paycheck or something. Even though like now I'm not even interested in like, I mean, other than like computer hardware, I'm not interested in like buying expensive things, so that's why I'm not concerned about my finances. But there is that security, the sense
of
of
knowing like,
knowing
okay,
like, yeah, I don't have to worry about
I can afford this.
money and stuff. Yeah, that's true. And my first half living at home, holy moly, the amount of money you save that versus the second half of my job that I had where I lived in New Jersey.
Oh, you're talking about like, yeah, the first half versus like,
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like, holy moly, like the money you save.
Yeah.
It's like insane. It's like, it's literally like you're being paid 150K. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, actually, because
It's
you're, yeah, actually.
Yeah. It's like, geez Louise.
If you can, yeah, save and work at home or live at home,
Yeah.
not pay rent, yeah, it's an insane difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea, like you were saying, of not having to worry about purchasing stuff. Now that I've purchased stuff, I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't even have the energy to use this stuff.
Yeah.
So like, what's the
Also, the
point?
the purging stuff, you quickly realize, like, this is
not going to last
stupid.
very long. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, but then the other thing is like, yeah, you have security, but it's like, there's also the negatives where it's like, holy moly, I don't care about this stuff. It's like, okay, I have to do this, and that. And it's like, yeah, I can do it, but do I care to do it?
Yeah.
No.
I think the big difference is like, I feel like probably the biggest difference is having kids or not. Because like, at least you have a why.
Oh, dude,
right?
If you have
like,
kids, it's over.
No, I'm saying like, as far as you were saying like, oh, why am I doing this? This is stupid. When you have kids, then it's like, then whatever you're working on, you almost like your threshold for whatever BS you're dealing with is kind of like, okay, well, I have to do this.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like, oh, I'm providing for my kids.
But that's what I'm saying. So. That's what I'm saying. It's over, as in like,
oh, any like creative thing or
no. It's like you could hate it, but like
you can't.
You have kids, man. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have kids, you can actually do something about it and leave, take time off, and try and pivot. Whereas if you have kids, it's over, dude. Like, unless you go find another job while you're working.
Yeah.
Then you can do that.
That's true.
But if you want to take time to do career development, I mean, good luck.
It's gonna be hard, yeah.
Unless you got a lot of money already. I mean, but also I would hope. I mean, and what's funny is I'm pretty sure most people don't do this. Is if you're gonna have kids, just have one. No,
just have one.
No, not that. Well, also don't have like too many kids. Just don't want to.
Well, live within your means.
Yeah, 2 kids max. But also like if you're gonna have kids, I hope you're already financially stable, and I hope you've kind of like, all right, this is what I want to do, kind of thing. If you're still figuring that out, you probably shouldn't have started a family, in my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think the threshold for that, the amount of BS maybe you take is a lot higher, because you're like, oh, well, I can provide for my kids and I enjoy my kids.
Yeah.
So that whole why issue, I think, is a big problem.
But then you're defining
your life around something else.
Well, which is fine if that's what you want to do. If having kids and raising them or whatever means a lot to you,
right?
Then
I think it does.
Then do that. But that also means you don't really care about your career. That much. I mean, you care about it enough to put in a good effort, but there's like
not
levels,
enough.
Right? It's like there's the guys who
you're not crazy passionate about this.
You're not trying to build on it. You're just trying to do it.
That's correct.
And maybe people have both. Those guys are.
Yeah, that would suck if you were like in a soul crushing job, couldn't leave because you have kids.
Yeah.
And you have like house payments.
Yeah.
And car payments.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Oh, that sounds like
be
hell.
Financially. You gotta be. That's why it's important to be responsible about things in the beginning.
Or even rent too.
I mean, you should have a car paid off if you're gonna have kids.
Yeah, or get a junker kind of car. That's true.
I mean, and then if you're gonna buy a new car, you should already have the cash ready and sell the old car, and that all cash should just pay for the new car full cash.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's what Dave Ramsey always preaches in his podcast.
And you should loans are like, I don't even want to take a mortgage, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It seems like
if you have to take a mortgage, it means you can't afford the house. And I know most people can't, and I can't. Yeah. But that literally just means you can't. You're buying something you can't afford.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing I can think of though is like, if you did leverage it, as in like you took a mortgage, you're making payments, but it's an investment property and someone else is paying for it, you are definitely 100% taking a risk if the market falls or you can't find a renter.
Yeah.
But I just see in general, it's a safer, or as safe as you can get before you get into the stock market and invest your money there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you do take a mortgage for like, investment purposes,
theoretically, I guess you're assuming housing prices will increase.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
reducing your risk by...
Right. But I do agree, like, majority of the time, you're purchasing the house for yourself, for your family.
Yeah.
And now you're locked in for... Let's be real. You're not going to do a 15-year fixed. It's going to be 30.
And let's be real. You're not going to make double payments. You're going to make the lowest freaking payment that you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's a good rule of thumb. If you're going to take a loan, only take it if you can make double payments.
Yeah. I would even say, add to that,
and you can pay half of it up front.
Yeah. Mine would be lower. I would say, like, if you can pay up till a year. But yeah, I would agree. Half would make more sense. Because otherwise, yeah, it's like you're really trapping yourself. I guess financially and like job-wise.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to take a lower-paying job or...
I bet for most people the hard decision is like, I bet it's societal expectations. Like, I bet people will get married because, well, that's, gotta get married someday. No, you don't. What are you talking about? That's just because society, like, people sometimes feel the pressure of like to get married. Like they think that like you have to get married when that's not true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to get married. But people think that, or people think, I need to buy a house at some point. Even if I can't afford it, doesn't matter. Like, I need to...
At this age,
like,
I need to get one.
Stuff like that, those kind of thoughts. I think that's where people fall. It's not even... Like, logic goes out the door at that point.
Yeah.
If you feel the pressure of logic is light compared to the pressure of, like, what you think others will think of you.
Yeah. That's what Gary Vee actually preaches.
Oh, really?
Lot. Yeah, he talks about like,
and it's deadly. Like that's a disease, man.
Yeah.
And what's funny is it's you. It's not even them. People honestly don't even care about you.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you just think that when you meet at a social gathering, that they think a certain way, and maybe they say things that kind of say, oh, this person. They think like this. But it's one of those things where it's like social gatherings don't happen that often, and it's like when people go home, they're not thinking about you.
Yeah.
They're just thinking about whatever the heck they want to do.
Yeah, that's true. There's like a huge there's a lot of stigmas that people put on themselves thinking that other people are.
And just what we were talking about with the matching suits thing at weddings.
Oh, right.
I mean, I think I'll do it for Michael's wedding, but there's still a side of me that wants to just show up in my suit.
The one that you own.
Yes, the one that I own. And be like, this is my logic. Deal with it, okay?
Yeah.
The only thing that ruins is I don't get to be in a group photo. Right?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And then maybe at the ceremony, I mean, if they're trying to be real strict, maybe I don't get to stand up in the line where, I don't know how Christian weddings work, but don't the grooms and the other ladies line up on the side?
Yeah. What are they?
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I don't get to stand there.
Do you
Not a big
care?
deal.
Yeah.
There'll be other weddings.
Things-
And if my friend
this
is upset at
change?
me for that, then they're not a real friend, are they?
Sorry, Michael.
I don't think Michael would.
He just messages.
Yeah. F you, man.
Yeah.
You're ruining the symmetry.
No, I agree. Like,
Right?
I think people value other people's
And it's like-
opinions too much
I think so too.
to their own detriment, and it's not that you're being an asshole or you're doing something that's, you know, putting a burden on someone else. It's just you're doing what you genuinely want to do,
Mm-hmm.
which shouldn't be offensive to anyone. And if it is, then
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
talks a lot about like pressure from parents or whatever.
Yeah.
As far as like what job you take or what career path you take, or
Yeah.
which I'm sure it's a lot in the Desi community as far as like becoming a doctor, engineer type
Yeah.
of thing.
I mean, what a waste if you go through that and you don't even want to do that.
Enjoy
at
it,
the end.
yeah.
What a waste of money. I mean, that's a
In
big
your
thing.
life.
What a waste of money. I mean, money can be very important when you're, when you don't have that much of it.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say
And time. Well, and
a
time.
bigger, what a waste of life.
Yeah, that's true.
like-
I 100% agree with that. That's more
I'm gonna
important.
die.
Yeah. I'm going to die soon. This is why I started.
I went through this pain. I didn't even want to do it in the first place.
That's why it's so important to have your freaking cojones in check. You have to have conviction. You have to know where you want to go, so that when people try and say, go this way, go that way, you're like, sorry,
No thanks.
I'm going this way.
Yeah.
Whereas what happens is if you become a yes man, and not in the traditional sense, but yes in that you just say yes to everything, then that's when you just fall into society's, pressures.
Right.
As in
right.
like, hey, come, like if you didn't come to college instead of going to 2 years at community college so we can like get wasted or something.
Yeah.
Like that kind of
Party,
vibe.
died.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you just say, sure, sounds like a good plan, and
Yeah,
you don't,
that sounds sweet.
you didn't think about it,
Yeah.
then yeah, of course you're going to fall into that and just waste money. And there's the college experience, in my opinion, is very, if you've never had a sleepover with friends, then maybe do it. But that is what college is like.
I still don't think that's a good reason.
What? Just like hanging out with friends and like staying up late.
Yeah.
That's what the college experience is. Add alcohol.
No, I'm
to that.
saying like then you still shouldn't go. I don't think if that's your reasoning.
Well,
that you haven't gone to.
well, I'm saying that means if you haven't had that experience already, you've never
it's an
had.
expensive experience that you.
No, I agree. Still
You know,
don't.
what would be a better option is just doing that anyway, or going to college but not paying for it because you
true.
go visit
But
your friends.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, living in a dorm could force you to, if the people are cool, could force you into like some nice tight camaraderie
Yeah.
that you have not experienced yet. And that's kind of cool to have close friends.
Right.
Is what I mean. So that could be valuable. If you didn't stay in the dorm, you might live in an apartment and just stay separated. You know what
Still
I'm
think
saying?
there's cheaper ways to do that, but yeah,
That's
I agree
true.
with you.
Probably. But I'm saying
Definitely.
if you want to stretch it,
Yeah.
if you want to stretch it, then
That
that's
would
the
be-
only reason to do that.
I think the only reason would be like I'm gonna get some crazy connections. Like
yeah.
if I went to Stanford,
no,
Harvard,
that's true, 100%.
I would say that would be literally the only reason I would,
Yeah, if you
if
go to
I
Ivy
did it
League,
again.
by all means, go to the Ivy League.
But yeah, I guess the balance is, life and finances.
Yeah.
Your
So what's the limit to the rental suit before you wear your own suit? How much are you willing to pay to wear a matching tuxedo
That's
that
a
you'll
good
never wear
question.
again? I think, you want to hear my answer first?
I already have my number. I
Okay.
think.
200.
Ooh, I said 300.
Your
But even
limit's
that,
300?
I'm kind of irking.
300
at.
for me, that's pushing it, dude.
That's 3 months of me living.
Yeah. That's 3 months of food.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
For 3 months of food, and again, I'm not against spending a lot of money, but that's something I'm never going to use again.
Yeah.
And it's not even for me. It's for someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about tuxedo.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit
true.
about what I look like.
Yeah.
I'm just going to an event to celebrate the event.
Yeah.
If I spend $300 on a graphics card, at least I get to use that every day, and that's for me.
Yeah.
So you're 300,
true.
mine's at 200.
And I even that I'm kind of like
Yeah.
I'm giving in.
I don't think Michael is even listening to any of these, and I have not told him. He told us that like, oh yeah, you guys have to rent a tuxedo. Were you there? Or was it just me?
Yeah. He said.
I didn't. I don't think I expressed how I felt about it at the time. Well, I kind of did. He mentioned the $600 suit, and I was kind of outraged by it.
Yeah.
So I think he understands.
Dude, I did not. I thought that was his own wedding.
No, I don't think so. That's not what he told me.
Man, weddings are expensive. I didn't realize.
They're stupid in my opinion. Nobody even wants to go.
Do you think that's the next expensive thing after
A house?
No, house after a car? Oh wait, actually it'd be
More expensive than a car.
Wow.
That's
okay.
5 of my cars fully paid off. Different colors.
I was just imagining you getting into a different car every day.
5 Corollas.
5 Corollas, different colors.
A green one, a black one, a blue one. Or just one sick Corolla. 2 sick Corollas.
The Corollas.
Fully decked out. Rims.
Those will last you a lifetime.
Yeah, they will.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, will you approach if Michael says it's $400 to rent, or he's like, this is the suit, and then you go and you check and it's $400.
I'm going to say like, hey, can we work with me or compromise with me?
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah. I mean, I would be honest with him.
I might just be like, hey, Mike, like 200 is my limit. Sorry, man. I'm just going to wear my suit.
Yeah. I would say, yeah.
I hate to break. I don't know if you even care about this stuff. I don't even think he cares. I think he might care about what others think. He might think, well, actually,
no, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care?
He cares.
I think he cares a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do you think he'd go through with all these traditional wedding things if he didn't
point.
care a little bit?
Yeah.
I think he cares what society thinks, what his community thinks.
Right. Which I think
if I said 400 is a lot, he wouldn't disagree with me.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I don't know how he'd react, but I think I would just say, I'm going to wear my own suit. That's a little silly. $400, dude?
Yeah.
I don't care if people are jumping off cliffs. I'm not doing it, dude.
Yeah. I would say like, I mean, I would have to see the suit, first of all.
That's true. If it's like hella fly.
Yeah. If this is a rental suit,
No, I'm saying rental.
$400 rental? Wait, the 600 wasn't a rental though?
No, it's not.
Okay. That I would be like, yo, man, we're getting a bad deal here. Let's reevaluate this. Or I'm saying so because like, yeah, I would, I would be more open to it is if it was a blue suit and I get to keep it, because honestly, that's what I want anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not too picky.
It's gonna be a tuxedo, so it's gonna be black.
Black.
You know what a tuxedo looks like. They're so generic.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no styling options. So
yeah.
Take that out of the question.
I don't know. I'd have to.
You'd have to
I'd
let
do
it
some
happen.
Soul searching, and
yeah.
And at the end, I'd probably.
And remember that means pretty much you probably won't stand up with them. Maybe. Again, I don't know how it works, but I'm guessing if they're trying to get symmetry, you won't stand up when they're walking down the aisle.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't need to stand next to Michael. I stand next to him at home. Okay. And then
I sit down next to him. I stand on top of him. I above him, below him.
I don't need to stand next to him on that day.
I could do a lot more.
And then maybe you're not going to be in the picture that's going to be on his
wedding card or whatever,
bedside table. You're not going to be in the picture that he has in his closet.
Hey, he might put it on display in his living room.
Dude, there's one wedding picture in here of mom and dad?
Yeah.
And it's very faded.
Yeah.
And it's just them two.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the one upstairs.
Yeah, the one upstairs, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So that's all I'm saying that's all you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna. And then you might think, will people judge me? Will people say, "Oh, this is Michael's close friend, and he didn't wear the suit or whatever"?
I don't think I would care about that because I don't even know like 90% of these people.
I agree. And honestly, if that's how shallow you are, it reflects more on you than it does me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would give pushback and see like.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, dude. To be honest, if it even got to that point, I don't think there is compromise because they've already chosen. You know, like.
Well, I think.
I think it'd be like, oh, the groomsmaid doesn't like the.
No, I think. Well, what Michael said is like Bertil. I think Bertil is working with a wedding planner.
Oh,
and my bet is the wedding planner is saying, here's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 of like what everybody can wear.
Oh, right.
Honestly, though, it's like a tuxedo. There aren't any tiers to a tuxedo, are there? It's just a black suit. I mean, maybe there's styling.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, they probably give options because, right, they have to.
So I'm guessing it's going to match the bridesmaid stuff. Like in some way. I don't know how.
Okay, yeah.
So my guess is she's probably picking the bridesmaid stuff, and then that's just going to default to some tier of tuxedo that's going to have to match. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get... I'm still stuck on the suit Michael got because like
he went to...
Why aren't they all rentals? Like
I have no idea.
Was the one Faisal got a rental or did he buy that? Oh no,
his friend paid for it.
Yeah, his friend paid for it, but did he
I think he gets to keep it.
Oh, he gets to keep it.
Yeah,
okay.
It was custom made for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he keeps it.
Oh, okay. Dude,
that's how it should be, honestly, Michael.
Yeah, I feel like
you gotta make your guests pay for your event.
I feel like,
and I know Michael will be against that too. If I talk to him right now,
I feel like all those things should be rental. Like you're not gonna buy the wedding.
I agree.
Or like the.
I agree. I don't know why.
With the exception of maybe like obviously food you can't rent, like the flowers you can't rent because they go bad, right? Or maybe is that considered cheap? I don't know.
Again, it might be the fancy suits, tuxedos are more custom, so.
Have I never gone to a wedding? Why?
I mean, I've never been to a Christian wedding. I've only been to a couple weddings, and they're all Pakistani.
Yeah. Do we not have groomsmen? We have.
Yeah.
I
don't know if they match.
When I protected the shoes.
I don't think we were wearing like matching clothes.
Right. I can't remember if the clothings I was
the only
wearing
difference
were
with
rental.
the only difference with those weddings is like in Pakistan
it's probably really cheap
you
anyway.
can have those custom made for cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Like $20.
That's fair enough.
Probably less.
I didn't like other than the pants. I don't think I kept the clothing like the nice fancy vest or whatever.
Yeah.
At least not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think it does have to do with being in the area. But man, it hit me that weddings are more expensive than cars. Because for some reason in my mind
they can be. They don't have to be.
Right. That's true. If it was like a smaller.
Honestly, man,
event.
if I have a wedding, it's gonna be a dinner at frickin'
Popeyes.
Popeyes. Yes.
It's gonna be a dinner at Popeyes. Okay, our favorite.
Yes. Because you know why? If you do that, that means your bond is so strong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You don't
care.
You're so tight
yeah.
that these fancy high-flying things that's like a cover-up to show other people.
Yeah.
It's like that shit don't even faze you, man.
That's true. Well, I guess if you go into it with the intent,
I mean, maybe don't go to Popeyes.
I enjoy. Yeah, I was gonna
go
say,
to like, but just have a dinner
slowly
with the parents. Maybe. Just a dinner with the parents, with both parents of both sides. That's it. You don't even have to, and then maybe your siblings too, and then maybe a couple best friends. That's it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like if I had it, it would be maybe like our family, the lady's family, and then like Ajit Michael Faisal.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Khalas.
Those are the guys I hang out with most.
And care about.
Yeah.
And would like to be part of it, but it's their choice.
And you just have a dinner somewhere, and then you say cheers, and then that's it. And then at most, And then let's say you pay for the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that costs you like a G. Maybe.
Yeah. That's doable.
Yeah. And you can wear whatever you want. There's no rules. And
But you have to.
There's no boring shit either. It's like you don't have to sit there and wait for people to walk.
Yeah.
And freaking.
I guess the last wedding we went to, yeah, there was a lot
some
of.
guy read from a book that's 2,000 years old. You just have logical conversations about what's our next business moves and stuff like that.
Or just party, have a good time.
Yeah.
Play some music.
Or if you really want to take it to the next
dancing
level,
so we can laugh at Faisal.
yeah, maybe just have Faisal dance. That'd be funny. Maybe if you really want to take it to the next level, you could have it at like.
If I did take it to the next level, it would be a destination.
Yeah.
Thing. But still, like.
Same people. You pay for everybody.
I think the problem you're gonna run into though is you don't know who your in-laws would be in this case. You know. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You know, like
but yeah. Well, too bad, honestly.
You pay for that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want you to pay for it. This is my life, dude. You can't tell me where to go and where to be at.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like if like you pay for your guests, I pay for my guests type of deal, right?
Yeah, but if they say like we want to have a wedding in a church,
yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, and if that's a deal breaker, then see ya.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's going to be only the tip of the problems, maybe.
What do you mean? Oh, if like, that's... Yeah.
If this is...
Yeah.
It's probably not.
Yeah. I mean, it's about having self-respect.
Yeah.
Right? You don't let people boss you around and force you to do things.
That you don't want to do.
Yeah. Unless it's your job.
Oh, damn.
We're real over, man. Okay, man. Well, I guess.
Oh, Ben actually wants to be on the podcast at some point. If
all right.
We're cool with
bringing
guests.
We don't
back.
Really have guests anymore. But,
as these empty chairs show.
Yeah, but we can have a. If someone expresses that they want to be on, then but I'm not gonna disagree with that. Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
All
right.
Cool.
Damn. That was a nice
full,
good one.
Yeah. So okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, and until next time.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.